Hi, Cancer. Happy April. I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I posted any videos. My schedule has been really hectic. I'm trying to get back into the groove of doing monthly videos. I probably won't be doing the bi-monthly, so let's try to make this, stretch the whole month. If I feel the need to, come back and talk to you guys in the middle of the month, I will. But, in order to provide good readings for you and keep up with my real life, or rather my mundane life, I got to cut it down to a month. But hopefully we get back in the groove of things. All right, let's get right into it, Cancer. So I previously was go ahead and sitting in your, energetic stream. And as I was focusing on Cancer, I started to get overwhelmed with emotion, and I almost felt like deep sadness. It did feel like perhaps somebody, and I don't know, who this resonates for. Like I said, this is a pretty general reading. I try to keep things, I try to keep things as general as I can. But when I started pulling cards, well, not pulling cards, when I started meditating, I definitely was overcome with what I'm going to call grief. So whatever that may mean for some of you, if you are dealing with a grief sort of situation, I apologize for that. Let's get right into it. Let's show you some love, Cancer. Okay, here we go. Feels good. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Cancer. So immediately I'm pulling the 2 of Cups in reverse, I'm pulling the 6 of Swords upright, and I'm pulling the 10 of Swords upright. So like I said, I did feel that grief feeling. I do feel like perhaps there was a loss of a partnership here, which is causing you to move away from a situation. It could be a divorce, could be an actual death, who knows? I don't know. But I do feel like this month you guys have a lot of emotional focus. However, with the Swords cards going on, it could be that you're struggling mentally, that you're really having a hard time mentally. So with the 2 of Cups in reverse, what I'm immediately feeling here is that there was a loss of a partnership, or rather that this situation involves a partnership. It could be a significant other, like husband, wife, a partnership of a friend, family member, whatever it may be. But I do feel like there was a union here of 2 rather emotional beings. I do feel like they had a deep connection that was meaningful. And then you have the 6 of Swords in the middle, which is kind of like your present situation, which is that act of moving away from the situation, or at least releasing or letting go or moving past. And then you have the 10 of Swords. And when I pull the 10 of Swords, usually in this position specifically, I do have a tendency to think that it has something to do with the ending of like maybe a thought pattern or letting go of things. I do feel like having it in this position, that you are moving away from whatever this loss was, and that you are trying to start again. So it's quite possible that a breakup or a loss of a partner had happened, and you are in the process of beginning anew. I'm going to pull a clarifying card, I believe, for this last card over here. And you have the 5 of Swords. Okay, so you got a lot of swords going on, and there's a lot of this sword energy, which is really kind of a bummer, because I feel like you are in a deep, almost like a depression, a grief. I keep getting the words grief, and that's really kind of sad. But I do feel like this is something that is weighing on you heavily. Let me move my cards around here a little bit so I can get them back into focus, release frame. It's slightly better. Okay, so once again, we're traveling down this road of grief, and I was feeling a deep emotional loss for you almost immediately. And this is before I ever got my cards out, before anything. I usually sit for a few moments in the energetic stream of Cancer, and I will focus on their overall theme. And I do feel like a lot of this is, yes, there's emotional things, but I feel like you're trying to do it in a strength, that you're trying to be strong when you're getting through this. I feel like you are moving on for the better, or maybe not so much for the better of others, but I feel like you're trying to be strong during this difficult time so that you can approach the next chapter with clarity and do it right. So I'm going to pull another, oh, yes, I'm going to pull a card here. The 9 of Cups. Okay. So with these energies here, with the 6 of Swords rooted down by the 9 of Cups, I do feel like you have this opportunity with this loss, that it's an unfortunate situation, and it's not coming from the best circumstances, but I do feel like it is leading you to a place where you can find some inner peace. and you can find a little bit of I feel like moving away from the situation that you're in, whether it be grief, loss, or whether it's a breakup, or whether it is leaving a certain situation. I feel like it's a very difficult transition, but in the end that you know that it's for the best, because having this card of movement and getting away from something. And I tell the story about the Six of Swords. Anytime I pull the Six of Swords, especially in like face-to-face readings, I like to paint this picture about the Six of Swords. Now, imagine that you lived in a village, you know, in ages ago. It was before our time. You lived in a village. The village had huts. It was a more of a tribal village, and your village was set on fire. That it by some freak accident, whether it be lightning strike or enemy tribe or whatever it may be, the village is burning to the ground. And all you have the chance to do is to grab your loved ones and whatever meager possessions you are able to grab, you jump in your boat and you leave. That is the story I get from this. This is the picture that I paint, because I feel like you don't have a lot of time to make planning preparations. I don't feel like you are given ample chance to really plan for the loss. I feel like it comes quickly, and that you have to make split decisions, and then you have to act fast and do whatever you can with the time that you have. So having that having said that, with the Six of Swords rooted down by the Nine of Cups, I do believe that whatever it may be that you're running from, and I almost feel like this is, besides grief, I also feel like this is somewhat of an escape. And I don't know what that means for you guys in particular. You're going to have to figure out how that resonates with you. But I almost feel like you are escaping a situation that that is an emotional and very mentally trying situation for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifying card for this Two of Cups over here. And you have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands tells me that you have this... like I said, I think it moved fast. I think it moved quickly. I think that the situation came very quickly, that you didn't have a lot of time to decide what you were doing, how to do it. You had no time to plan, but you knew that in order for your happiness, or in order for you to survive, or in order for you to be okay, you had to go. You had to move quickly, and it had to happen fast. So with these two cards in reverse, now I don't always read reverse card meetings as being negative. A lot of the times I read reverse card meetings as something that is happening really internally. So perhaps you're letting go of a relationship, or letting go of a situation, or even letting go of an endeavor that was very personal to you. You're doing it very quickly, and inside I feel like you made the decision like this. Like you had to go. It was fast. It was time. I gotta go. I gotta grab my stuff. I gotta grab my kids. I'm getting in that car and I'm leaving. And there was this brief moment of like, phew, like I escaped with my life. That's what I'm hearing. I escaped with my life. I barely made it. I definitely feel like you had the opportunity to see. Yeah, that's something I'm getting, is that you actually were able to see what was coming towards you. For some of you, I'm not saying for all of you, but I do feel like for some of you, there was this moment, and however brief that moment may have been, it could have been just a split second where you looked at it and went, that's what's happening next. I'm out of here. I gotta go. And for those of you who didn't see it coming, you still had the wherewithal to go, okay, it's time. I gotta get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a advice card, because that's something I've started doing recently. So your advice for the month is the Ace of Wands. And this is a quick action. This is you taking action. This is you making decision and acting upon it. I do feel like a lot of this is action based, and yes, it is a difficult decision, and you have an ending coming. The future right now is your present moment being this, but the future moment is, I know that I have troubling times ahead of me. I know that I have a struggle and a fight, and I know that I'm only partially prepared for what's coming. But I definitely feel like you, whatever the situation may be that you're in right now and whatever you're dealing with, I definitely feel like you made the right decision to get out. That it was the right move. I'm going to pull one more card because these are screaming at me. I'd like to know a little bit more about them. Yeah, the Five of Cups again. So it's quite possible that you were okay, I'm not saying that this is specific, but if I painted a picture of the energy of the energy that is surrounding this cards, it's like this: a man and a woman are married. The man is well to do, or at least the finances are stable. Things are really stable in the house. You are well taken care of. But the problem is that the man is abusive, or that the man is an alcoholic, or whatever it may be. And so you know that you and your kids are taken care of financially, but you are not happy and or safe. And so it's a very difficult decision to give up your stability and to give up that security of knowing that your bills are paid and you have a place to live and all of these things, and to face loss and to face instability and to face the troubling times ahead. But you know that making that hasty movement, making that quick escape is going to benefit you in the long run. So yes, you have to process through this period of loss. You have to process through this challenging time coming towards you. But I know with the cards here and what is being shown to me, that there is an undercurrent. And like I said, you don't have any major arcana here. So this is a lot of things that are very, this is a lot of different elements, a lot of different undercurrents that are coming in and coalescing into this whole big picture. You do have this Nine of Cups here. And the reason that I'm standing out, or this cup's standing out, because out of all of these cards, this is the only one who is telling me that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is opportunity, safety, security, love, and emotional freedom at the end of this tunnel. But you do have to get through this dark phase. You have to push through this darkness. As soon as you can get out of this darkness, there is a light. There is hope. There is a positive change coming your way. So just be strong and know that what you're doing is the right decision, and know that you're doing it because it's going to help you along your life path. And it's sending you in the right direction. And I know that you probably, in Cancers being as intuitive as you guys are, I know that deep down inside, you're probably fully aware that what you're doing is right, even if it is difficult. So I love you, Cancers. Be strong this month. We will check up with you in May and see how the story continues. You definitely have my... I'll be thinking about you guys this month, and I will definitely be sending, positive energy to the Cancers of the world, and especially those of you who are going through a difficult time, who are going through a rough transition. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and next month, hopefully I can pull some cards for you that are really bring that light to light. All right. I love you, Cancers. I'll see you in May.